So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. So guys, just to give you an update, I would have been a couple of videos from my setup tonight. But I'm still sorting out a few things because I got to shift my room and I got to shift a lot of things. So hopefully I'm going to do that straight after this video. And then I'm going to hopefully upload one video tonight, like after midnight, hopefully. And then upload two tomorrow. That will be from there. Don't get me wrong, it's just going to be a plain background. It's not going to be anything at the minute. I'm still going to be sorting out the like maybe just get an Imran Mir TV sign on the back. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you guys the update. But it's going to be no special effects at the minute. It's just setting it up because I want us. The main thing is the reason why I want to do this is because of the live streams. I want to start going live. And I don't particularly want to go live like this. I'd prefer it like that, where I'm sitting down and got my Mac, and then like I said, I'm going to be interviewing hopefully guys as well, interviewing people, which is going to be very interesting. Hopefully, getting fans on, that'd be great. But yeah, let's go straight into it. Canelo Alvarez and Billy Joe Saunders will be fighting at the AT&T Stadium, which I believe is in Texas, and the Dallas Cowboys use that stadium. That's a massive stadium. I was on Twitter, and Mike Coppinger said that stadium can be expanded to 100,000. Now I don't know. Now they're expecting about 70,000 fans from what I read, but it can be expanded to 100,000. Now, I don't know whether they're going to have the permission to have 100,000 fans in there, especially with the pandemic. I honestly think it's crazy having 70,000 fans in there. I think it's crazy. I think in this current climate, to have 70,000 fans packed in, there's going to be no way any kind of social distancing. Like, I just don't see it. How are you gonna be able to have 70,000 fans at social distancing? Unless they're saying it's 100,000. It can hold 100,000, that stadium. So unless they're, I don't know. I just don't know how, if you can have 70,000 people in a stadium where you can socially distance. But anyway, maybe the regulation and the laws in that area now is the coronavirus cases are probably non-existent. I think so. If they're allowing 70,000 fans in a stadium, then the area must have literally no cases, or the situation there must be great. But like I said, I don't see here us in the UK having anywhere near 70,000 fans anytime soon. From the situation here in the UK, I just don't see it. Recently in India, they obviously have huge cricket stadiums, and they have a lot of fans come in there. They have like 70, 80,000. They've because of the rise of the cases, they're having no crowds now. So yeah, I'm quite surprised that the situation in America is obviously getting better, that they're allowing crowds of that size. I don't think here in the UK, I don't think here in the UK that crowds are going to come back till the end of May anyway. And like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see when they do come back, at what capacity. Because I don't think it's going to be anywhere near even 50%. I'd be shocked. Because some of our football stadiums here are quite big. Like some of them hold 60, 70,000. And I just don't feel you can get 50, 40,000 people in a stadium. It's just too risky at this point, because we're still not out of we're still not out of the pandemic. So yeah, I just think, I don't know how America are doing it. Obviously, maybe they've got control over the cases, control over the situation. But yeah, credit, it's going to be great to have 70,000, and there could be 100,000, which would be epic for a fight of this magnitude. And you have to say that Billy Joe Saunders isn't a big name. I know it's a unification fight, but Billy Joe Saunders isn't a huge name in America. So if Canelo Alvarez can get 70,000 fans in there against Billy Joe Saunders, that just shows the star power of the man. That shows how big Canelo is in the States. Because like I said, let's be honest, most of those fans are going to be coming to watch Canelo. And it shows how big a star and what Canelo is in the sport of boxing, which I firmly believe is the biggest star in the sport. I know some people say AJ, but I think Canelo's the biggest star in the sport. I don't think it's close. I think he's an unbelievable boxer. I think he's pound for pound, I believe he's the best fighter in the world right now. I also feel that his star power is on another level as well. He's a superstar. He no doubt he is, and in around that state, in America, from that area, America and Mexico and those that part of the world, Canelo is by far the biggest star. It's not even close. Like, you can make an argument that Tyson Fury's catching up with AJ here in the UK. There's no one even close to Canelo in that part of the world. Who's the second biggest star after Canelo? I don't even know. Errol Spence, Wilder, and none of these guys are even close to Canelo. Like, they're not even close. You would say Tyson Fury is quite a big star in America. And let's be honest, he's nowhere near Canelo Alvarez. He hasn't got nowhere near the pulling power of Canelo Alvarez. I remember when Canelo Alvarez fought Liam Smith. I believe he fought at the same stadium, and I swear there was 50,000 people there. And Liam Smith was probably even more unknown than Billy Joe Saunders is. And yet he packed out 50,000 people. That shows when you're selling that amount of tickets against a guy that, the people in that area don't really know, you're single-handedly, like Joshua does here in the UK, getting 90,000 people to come and watch you fight. 60, 70,000. Like, Joshua's done that consistently here, which is unheard of, really. And you got to give Joshua credit for that, because he's a heavyweight. So that's why what Canelo's doing is even more impressive to me, because he's not a heavyweight. Heavyweights, for me, have a lot more star attraction. Being the heavyweight champion, right, was at one point seen as the most precious title in world sports. It was the most precious title to hold in world sports, the heavyweight championship of the world. It was that prestigious. It's just because of the fact that the heavyweight division, it lost its glamour. It lost that appeal. It lost the excitement, because we had Klitschko's dominating and they weren't the most charismatic characters. But yeah, so that's why I think the heavyweight division lost its appeal. But Anthony Joshua being a big star, he's British. He's got that charisma. People like him. He's got great energy. And that's why I personally feel that Anthony Joshua has become such a big star. He's exciting. He's vulnerable. His fights are very exciting, unlike the Klitschko's, who are boring. And Canelo over in America, right, is a super middleweight. He's been fighting at, across many different weights, 4 different weights, really: 154, 160, 168, and 175. Well, he fought once at 175. But Canelo Alvarez could do the same. Canelo Alvarez could do the same. If not, he could break boundaries without question. As I said in previous videos before, Eddie Hearn linking up with Canelo Alvarez. Both those guys are very ambitious. Both those guys are going to be looking to break boundaries, because they both get a buzz out of that. I feel Canelo's the type of guy that wants to break boundaries, and I think Eddie Hearn's the type of guy that gets a buzz out of doing great things, breaking boundaries, getting 100,000 people in a stadium. So I wouldn't be shocked, because Mike Coppinger in his tweet said that the full capacity for that stadium is 100,000. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to get 100,000 fans in. But I do question, the social distancing aspect. 100,000 people is just too many people. There's no way you can social distance when there's 100,000 people in a stadium. I don't think it's possible, but might be wrong. But there's always going to be people crossing each other's paths. 100,000 people is a lot of people to put in a stadium, right? And to expect everything to be perfect and be socially distanced, it's going to be difficult. So yeah, I think 70,000 is more realistic. But don't be surprised in the future when Canelo fights. Hearn is going to be looking to break serious boundaries. I won't be surprised if they try to take a fight to Mexico and do 150,000 or something like that, something crazy like that. And like I said, Canelo has got the star power to do that. Canelo has got the star. He's a star attraction from that area in the world, right? In Mexico, America, Canelo Alvarez could do 100,000 plus in the right fight, I believe. So he could easily do against, just say, someone like Beterbiev. If that fight was to happen in Mexico, I reckon he could do over 100, 30, 40,000. I think a fight with... See, I'm trying to think of a big name in around those weight. There isn't really. You won't say there's another... You could probably do a Golovkin rematch in Mexico because a lot of the Mexicans love Golovkin. They love his style. And you could potentially do a trilogy with Golovkin in Mexico. And I'm pretty sure with the stage that... Golovkin is in his career, he'll take that fight in Mexico. Because Golovkin's looking to cash out, make as much money as possible now. And a fight with Canelo would do huge, obviously make him huge money. So he'd take that fight in a heartbeat. So I reckon a fight like Canelo v Golovkin in Mexico could probably do 200,000, 150,000, easy, without question, easy. Do that many fans without question. If he's doing 70,000 with Billy Joe Saunders, who's relatively unknown in the States, right? What could he do with a known opponent like Golovkin, who's seen way more credible and way more dangerous? Might not be now, but he's definitely seen as way more credible than Saunders at this point. He's definitely, for me, in terms of name-wise, more credible than Saunders to the American audience. So it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me if they do over 100, 150,000 fans in a stadium in America or Mexico. I do think that Canelo v Golovkin in Mexico would be special. I reckon that could do a serious amount of people in the stadium. 150 easy. But back to this fight, 70,000. I think it's more realistic that it'll be about 70,000. I think Mike Coppin just said that the stadium could be expanded to 100,000 if they wanted to have that many people in there. But like I said, is the state and that area going to allow that many fans? 100,000 at this stage in the world where we're at, the pandemic and the world right now is not what it was. It's completely different. And to have 100,000 in a stadium, and if things were to go wrong after that, there's going to be serious questions, So even 70,000 is a stretch for me. But again, like I said, I don't know the area. I don't know what the situation is there. Listen, I'm glad that we're going to have fans, and I'm waiting to see another epic event because the fans, they add to the event. They add to the drama of the event. These fights with not many, with small crowds, it's not the same. The crowds add to the atmosphere. They add to the drama, the tension. They add to all of that. And that's why I want to see crowds, because the atmosphere when there's a 70, 80, 100,000 fans in a stadium, the atmosphere is unrivaled. It's on another level. And for me, it just adds to the excitement of the fight. Now, if you've got a fight that's exciting where, two guys are in a life and death fight and, the fans are screaming and shouting, it just adds to the tension, adds to the atmosphere. It makes the event ever so more epic, So I just think the fans being back in there is obviously great news. Whether this fight between Saunders and Canelo is going to be an epic fight, who knows? I don't see it being, a life and death type of fight for Canelo. But Saunders may cause him other problems in like being slick, but it's not gonna be a fight where you're gonna see a Golovkin Canelo type war. It's not gonna be like that. Saunders is not gonna come and fight like that. He's gonna come and be slick. So if Saunders is having success in the fight, it's probably not gonna be the most exciting fight, right, to watch. And I don't think this fight is gonna be I don't see it being an exciting fight, if I'm honest with you. Even if Canelo hurts him and knocks him out, it may be explosive if Canelo can get to him and knock him out. But I don't see it being back and forth because I don't think Billy Joe Saunders can go toe-to-toe with Canelo. So yeah, I think certain fights like a Golovkin-Canelo fight with a huge with, you know, so many fans would be great. Like packed out stadium, like 100,000 in that kind of fight would be epic. Because, like I said, it'd be back and forth. Two guys just going back and forth, hammer and tong at one another, which would make great viewing. And I'm pretty sure the crowd would add to the atmosphere massively. Um, and I can't think of fights in America where they're doing 100,000, because they normally do it in Las Vegas, and they, you know, the price of the tickets are crazy. So they don't really need to have 100,000 fans. They don't need to have 100,000 fans, because they're making, like, Mayweather never fought in front of 100,000 fans. He didn't need to, because he was making so much money fighting in Vegas. So he didn't need to have 100,000, 150,000 fans, because the prices of his fights were so expensive that he didn't need to have that many fans. Although I reckon Mayweather being the great, and I think Canelo's exactly the same. I think them being as big and as great as they are, I feel like they should use their star power to break boundaries, like Anthony Joshua did here in the UK. But there's a different culture there in America. It's a completely different setup, completely different culture. So um, they think completely differently. Like here in the UK, a lot when the UK fans go out and watch these big fights, it's like a day out, and they enjoy it. They drink and have a great time. They love to party and have a great time. It's like a day out and an event for them. Whereas I think Americans may be a bit different. But as Eddie Hearn said, people are people. They like to have fun. They like to enjoy, no matter whether they're Americans, British, whoever. Yeah, the cultures can be different. But Eddie Hearn is going to try to install what he's done here in the UK and America, and he has done it in parts. He has, and I think he's going to try doing that same thing in America and try bringing life back into, you know, that region. And he is right. He is right. He's slowly becoming the biggest promoter. He probably already is. He probably already is the biggest promoter, or the best promoter. I think he's the best promoter in the world. And I think this is just another statement from Eddie Hearn in terms of creating another great event. Who have you seen create an event like this? 70,000. Look at what he did for the Yildirim fight, the ring walk, and now he's having a Canelo fight, you know, unification fight in front of 70,000 fans. And I'm pretty sure that there's going to be more boundaries that are broken with Hearn and Canelo, because, like I said, they both have that kind of ambition to break boundaries. They both have that. They both have that in them. They both want to do boundary breaking things, and I believe they will. I believe they will. And so I think this is just the start of something special from Hearn and Canelo, because Eddie's gonna definitely look to put on some big events with Canelo Alvarez, because he knows he can. And like I said, Eddie Hearn gets a buzz out of putting on these big events and big crowds, and that. But that's good for us fans, because, like I said, those type of fights and in front of huge crowds and huge only add to the excitement. They only add to the tension. They add to the atmosphere of the event, and it just makes it epic viewing. If you're watching on TV, it makes it epic viewing. You know, having 100,000, 70,000, 80,000. We've seen what the atmosphere is like here in the UK. You know, hopefully he can eclipse that in America, and we're going to have some great shows in America. It's great to see a Brit promoter going over there and doing great, like Eddie Hearn is, and dealing and promoting the biggest star in America, Mexico, in that area. Eddie Hearn is promoting, a Brit is promoting the biggest star in America. He's promoting the biggest star, and when there's other American promoters, which is, like I said, that just shows how big Eddie Hearn's gone. And like I said, I can't wait for this fight. I'm so excited for this Billy Joe Saunders Canelo fight. It's gonna be great. I can't wait for it. What do you guys think about it being in front of 70,000? Let me know your thoughts. It's been confirmed now that Canelo Alvarez will be fighting Billy Joe Saunders May the 8th at the AT&T Stadium. Leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.